Ookla just dropped some data. They just dropped the Q1 2020 data for their crowdsourced application, ooklaSpeedTest.net app. You guys have probably downloaded it and you've seen it before. You've probably used it 1,000 times in tracking your speeds. Anyways, they've compiled all that data and they've gone ahead and pushed together the report. It's all public now. Link is in the description box. Let's go ahead and do a full overview of what they found. All of that starts now. Hey, what is going on, SMT Nation? It's your boy, the SMT. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at the speedtest.net first collection of data for half one of 2020. Speedtest.net, a company that makes an application. You guys probably know it as Ookla Speed Test from the App Store or the Google Play Store, where you can download the app, and they do like a crowdsourced attempt of data collection. And then the company does an analysis and compiles all this data from millions of devices, crowdsourced nationwide, collects all this data, and then they provide a full report of everything that they find. So this report is from Q1 of 2020. The numbers are in, and now we have a ton of stuff to look at. Now, when you go to the website and you access this report, there's different angles. You can look at the mobile side, you can look at fixed broadband, so if you want to know more about like home providers and stuff like that. And then to take it one step further, you can actually do so, by taking a look at the United States data, or you can look to see how countries stack up against one another from a global perspective. So like, where does the US rank, where does Brazil rank, and so on. So they've got all types of different data that they've collected, and you guys could take a look at it. I'll put a link in the description box for that. Anyways, the numbers are in. For the sake of our channel, we're going to take a look at the big four wireless providers here in the US. So we've got mobile selected instead of fixed, and here's what we have for fastest providers. Here is the data. So we have at number one AT&T with a speed score of 41.23. So AT&T, the fastest carrier on a national scale, based on modern chipset and competitive geographies. This will be the standard for all the metrics. T-Mobile came in at number two at 33.69. Sprint 31.53, and the Verizon Wireless at 30.77. So interesting there that Sprint coming in at number 3 and T-Mobile coming in at number 2 and Verizon last, but look how far AT&T is ahead in this metric. But in my experience, I can concur. AT&T is the most highly capacitive provider in the United States. Very, very fast. 200 plus megabit per second is very common here in the CLE in my market. So I can definitely say that. I'm surprised to see Verizon that low, although I'm not going to say completely surprised, because Verizon Wireless does have the least amount of wireless spectrum of all four national providers. So they're definitely feeling the strain on a national scale compared to the other carriers. If you scroll down from the report, you'll see here is the latency metric, a measure of the reaction time of a connection, and the lower the number here, the better. So number one in median latency is T-Mobile with 31 milliseconds, Verizon at 33, AT&T at 35, and Sprint at 39. These latencies are, I don't know, they're all pretty close. With the exception if you look at first and last, right? Like 31 to 39, like that's a measurable difference. But even 31 to 33, that's 2 milliseconds in difference. And the same thing with AT&T, right? They're just, they don't seem so different from each other. But T-Mobile taking the cake at number one. Nice job by them. And then we'll look here at a consistency score, which is a measure of, I think what they did here was at least 5 megabits per second on the download, and then at least 1 megabit per second on the upload. So looks like they did it as a percentage of the time. So the consistency score, number one was AT&T, the most consistent network based on those metrics. T-Mobile at number two, very close. You guys can see how close that is. And then a little bit of space between second and third, with Verizon coming in at 73.8% and Sprint way far behind at 66.1%. Consistency is important in my opinion. The more consistent a network is, the more customers know what to expect from their provider. So there's that metric. Here's 4G availability. This is a nice metric because it lets you know how much of the nation has the most up-to-date network upgrades, because 4G availability is important. That's the newest technology until we transition over to a full 5G scale. Anyways, here, surprisingly, Sprint takes the cake at number 1, sharing it with Verizon at 99% 4G. I have no idea how Sprint got there at number 1. I really don't. Verizon, no surprises that they're there at 99%, AT&T at 97.8, and T-Mobile at 97.5 last. Now, they're all very close, right? They're all over 97% there. Wow. I had no idea that Sprint could actually do that. I would actually question it personally. That's just me, because I know how Sprint's network is natively. But we'll just move on. Nice job by Sprint. In terms of 5G performance, this one's kind of interesting here. 5G speed, Verizon Wireless takes the cake, number 1, 870 megabits per second. No surprises, because they utilize a, pretty much 100% 5G is millimeter wave, so it should be that high in my opinion. AT&T at 78.68, Sprint 64.82, and T-Mobile 64.26. No surprise that T-Mobile score is low. They are utilizing mostly a low-band 5G build, so I'm not surprised. Sprint coming in at 64.82 is a surprise, because they are utilizing their 2.5 megahertz spectrum, or excuse me, 2.5 gigahertz spectrum, which is a very high, well, we'll just say it's high compared to traditional LTE connections, but I have no idea why it should be so low. Their 5G markets, typically we're seeing speeds anywhere between 3 and 500 megabits per second, so I don't know what happened there exactly. But I know that, the study showed that T-Mobile had over 5,000 cities with 5G availability. AT&T had like 237, Verizon with 39, and Sprint had like 9, and I think they combined that with T-Mobile's numbers as well. Here's the 5G capable score. You'll see how that metric went. I'm not really sure how important that is. Here's a cool little spot. You guys can take a look at this if you want. Pause it if you like, to take a look at some device information on how they scored in terms of metrics. And then here's how they stack up in data, in the data numbers. You could see how those, I thought this was interesting. Samsung Galaxy S10 5G. Maybe it's the millimeter wave that gets those numbers higher. I don't know. But there's something to take a look at. iPhones, Pixels, V60s, some 5G phones. Here's manufacturer information. This one's pretty cool too. If you want to take a look at their data metrics from the different manufacturers, Google, Apple, LG, Samsung, stuff like that. All right, so there they are. You guys can see what those numbers are like. And then I think what's probably more applicable to our channel here are regional speeds. Based on region, you kind of get this like, segment of a state or a tri-state area in different segments of the country where, you could see the different performances, median download speeds. You could see some of the fastest places here. And then not only that, you could see the downlink, you could see the uplink, you can also see the latency, which is great. And then you get to see the fastest provider there, which is pretty cool. And then their median score as well. So there's your top 10 right there. So District of Columbia, very fast, and then as well as Ohio, my home state, and Pennsylvania, Maryland. You can actually click see more, and they've got the top 50 identified with all the different carriers for what the data kind of shows. All right, so there's 51 there for us. So it's got all the states there. City speeds. This one's good, especially if you want to look kind of granular at specific locations. Here's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, very fast. AT&T takes the cake there. New York, it says Verizon is the best. Washington, and so on. So you can click see more, and you've got tons and tons of cities. Went too far. You got 100 listed there, so you could check those out. Anyways, that'll give people an idea of what they could look at if you are moving to a place, what to expect from the network performances and which carriers work best. Anyways, long story short, that's everything from the report from Ookla speed test app, the speedtest.net company, and their crowdsourced data. If you want to see more, you want to take a look at the metrics, go ahead and check out the link in the description box. I've gone ahead and put that in there. And also in the description box, we've got links to the Patreon page. We got the Twitter handle at sneedtech. We got all types of other links in there as well. You can make donations, things of that nature. All the different community stuff is there. If you appreciated this video, let me know. And you could do that by hitting the like button and sharing it to your favorite socials. That would be awesome. Thank you for doing that. First time viewer, consider becoming a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from the SMT. And here's some other videos if you want to check them out. And I think what we will do is let's hashtag Ookla hashtag OOKLA, hashtag Ookla, the speed test app. You guys can download this on the App Store or the Google Play Store and contribute to this crowdsourced data collection. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think of all this. Let me know if it's accurate, if your experience shows the same. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about your markets, this testing, and your take on everything. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I am the SMT, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.